My name is Charles, and I will be introducing a native of Northeast Denver, Jeff S. Farr, better known as Brother Jeff, is a multimedia journalist, historian, and community organizer who lectures nationally, speaking to youth, students, social organizations, and professionals about subjects including cultural identity and history, diversity, self-empowerment, community building, and economic development, health disparities, and the uniting power of art. In 1994, he founded Brother Jeff's Cultural Center, located in the historic Five Points District in Northeast Denver, which is where we are at, if no one knew that. A space committed to fostering growth, strength, and the voice in the community. He is also a publisher and editor of the award-winning publication 5 Point News. In 2000, Brother Jeff began organizing nationally to help reduce the disproportionate HIV and AIDS rate in the African American community, and serves as an advisor to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment, and several other governmental and non-governmental organizations committed to eliminating HIV. Brother Jeff currently serves as a board member for the Center for African American Health and is the past board chair for the Denver Foundation, which is the nation's oldest and Colorado's largest community foundation. He has received numerous honors for his work, including being recognized by the late Stephen Graham and the Community Resource Center as a legendary leader for Colorado's nonprofit sector. So with all of that, here comes Brother Jeff.
Give him another round of applause. You know, you heard a little bit about me, but I want to begin first by asking a little bit about you. I understand that you all are doing some community projects, and I'd like to just know, maybe in 15, 20 seconds or so, if you'll just detail what your projects are. So we can do this popcorn style, sir.
My community project is about preaching to the homeless, so to better help them get resources on becoming not being homeless, and just basically helping them and to empower them on what they're doing.
And we'll start with our names. And
Charles Green.
okay, good. Go ahead, stand up.
So my name is Franco Otero, and my project is to help elders or learn about how to use computers, because I noticed that lots of people think it's very important to get into communication with other people and honestly to turn on the computers, and yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, people flowing.
We're going to keep it flowing. So if we need to just go down the line,
I'll
hope.
go. Are they gonna go? I'll go.
Yeah, we'll just go down the line. That way we keep it easy.
Awesome.
My project is internet safety.
Oh, baby, we could not hear you.
One more time.
And we don't know your name.
Nice and loud.
My name is Hope. My project is about internet safety, helping teens overcome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alpha.
Tell people the name of your project too, if you have it.
Oh, scary. My name's Alpha, and my project is Girls Connect. And my project is about helping girls make friends.
All right.
My name is Christina, and my project is bringing awareness to areas in the suburbs of Spanish enrichment programs, especially starting at young ages.
Over here.
My name is Margarita Mian, and I am a leader. And my project is about the importance of the handwriting and how to teach, that it's important to teach handwriting to children, and then make parents and teachers making them more aware of the benefits of handwriting, so using handwriting in everyday life.
Go up there, Spencer. Did we get you yet?
I'm Spencer, and my community project is comforting the elderly. So, elders in nursing homes have a better ending part of their life, so they're not as sad. So we have to be able to comfort them.
Savannah?
Here.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Angel, and my project is Uriel Speaks. And my project involves helping adolescent teenagers, adolescent girls to find their voice, to share their talents, and to help their self-esteem.
So my name is Christina. My project is, as it stands, the name is Arriba Juntos, which means upward together. And it will be a support group / resource center for Latinos with, who are parents of children with disabilities, primarily autism.
My name is Ruby, and my community project is a support group for the siblings of children with disabilities because they might not be getting the attention that they need from their parents.
Awesome, look together.
How you kind of
do that together. I don't know the name of it, but my name's Savannah, and our project is basically to inform primarily African American girls on like their identities before America. So like, what does it mean to be African?
Anything?
So the most recent name that we created was Her Stories Connecting to Our Roots. Wendy Town.
Right.
Hi, my name is Brian Yee. My project is CAFE, stands for Civic and Financial Empowerment. The goal is a conference every year to help empower others through financial education and civic education to help them allow themselves to better their own lives.
Hi, my name is Gloria. The name of my project is Kids Connect. It's a program that will allow kids who have difficulty making friends or retaining friends in school to connect with each other to build these very healthy friendships. We're going to do some capacity building for the children and also to help parents learn to advocate for your students in school.
Hi, my name is Sarah Shelton, and my project is called Civic Education for All, and it's a statewide approach to bring together individuals and organizations who are working to provide authentic civic learning opportunities for students. And through a network approach, the vision is to create opportunities for students to have authentic learning in school and out of school, and really empower young people to feel like they are part of their community.
You are. Yes, you are. My name is Tony Miner, and I am a family leader. And I changed the name of my project to Keys to Success. And really, my project is about family empowerment. It's about ensuring that family voice is on policy and procedures to, oh my God, I'm sorry, I just spaced what I was saying. Can we start over again?
Sure.
So, can I start over, or should I just keep going?
You're fine.
Okay, really the goal is to ensure that the family voice is heard in policy and decision making about families.
my turn?
Yeah, I gave you my 15 seconds.
15 seconds of fame.
Oh, wow. I got a big job. My name is Maurice Jones, and my community project is Hedges and Highway Outreach, which will provide tools, not resources, but tools for the homeless, less fortunate, to get them back on their feet and change their life. Second part of Hedges and Highway will be reaching out to the high school seniors, college graduates, to provide outreach training so that they can go out on the streets and see what life is really about.
She's with us.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, first I want to just start by saying Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, and then I also want to ask Elder Baba Ken Grimes if it's your permission to speak openly and to present in this facility amongst these individuals.
So I'm assuming that you're thinking I'm the oldest. You have my permission.
You know, sometimes I do that and I have to identify the, not necessarily the oldest, but the elder in the room.
Well,
and I don't know if you think of those as synonyms, but I don't necessarily think of them as synonyms. The reason I picked out Baba Ken Grimes is because in the community that you're in right now, he is one of our venerated elders. He's a member of the Circle of Wisdom. I'm also a member of the Circle of Wisdom, but the community had identified him and several others as people we can look to and point to in terms of keeping our culture, keeping our community, and keeping our stories ongoing. And so it was easy tonight because I was able to see one of the elders right here in 5 Points. Benzel, I want to thank you for all the work that you constantly do. Benzel's been on a mission to heal and work in our community for many years, as many others that I see. But I want to specifically thank you for inviting me.
Honored that you're here.
I want to begin by saying I'm honored to hear you have a drive and a stated goal to make something better for someone else, which includes yourself. If we all just accomplished what was in this room, can you imagine the impact that would have, not only on this community, but the world? If you just did what you said you're going to do. I'm not talking about those who get on Facebook or those who sit on the sidelines or those who always talk about what someone else should be doing or what something should be happening or how things should get done. If you just do what you said you're going to do, the help will show up. If you just do what you say you're going to do, the help will show up. I'm inspired to see young people because some of you are older than Kassan Evans. Kassan Evans was about 2 years old when he was murdered not too far from here in an early drive-by shooting. I was around when the very first drive-by shooting happened in our community. His name was Cameron Evans. It took place in Montbello. Cameron had on a red Oklahoma Sooners cap or colors, and he wasn't wearing it because he was a part of any gang. In our community, we didn't know about gangs, at least Los Angeles style gangs. We learned about them through movies like Colors and Boys in the Hood, and we emulated some of the things that we saw and heard in popular media. So now someone wants to say that the power of media. I'm telling you that some of the issues that we are facing today, that we are seeking to find solutions to, and by the way, there were over 50 gunshots in our community last night. For the first time ever, there were 4 murders in 24 hours last weekend. We learned about a lot of that behavior through the media. Through the media in the form of entertainment. A lot of the things that you're learning, you're doing, and you're seeing are coming to you in the form of media couched through entertainment. And it used to be news, but now news is entertainment, and you can't decipher the two oftentimes. I'm what you call first generation hip hop. I was working with rap or hip hop artists before it was a multi-billion-dollar industry. We were kids your age just having fun. I worked with individuals like Ice Cube, Ice-T, Public Enemy, DJ Jazzy Jeff, and the Fresh Prince before Will Smith became a movie star. All of these individuals were people in the community and communities that were striving to access the resources in their community and make sense out of their lives. And then somewhere along the way, people in our community started being killed, literally. In this community, Park Hill, Montbello. And I gave up that kind of rap career. As a matter of fact, I was one of the groups I had, you may know, have anybody heard the song called Whoop There It Is? Did you know they're from Denver? Did you know they grew up right around the corner? Did you know they went to Manual? I took them to Atlanta. We said they were from Atlanta because nobody believes black people are from Denver.
That's true.
It was marketing. Half the stuff that you see in the media is marketing, and it's gimmicks, and you think people are rich, and you think people are gangster. A lot of those gangsters have college degrees. I know the real Rick Ross. Not the one that you're talking about, that you see in the videos. The point that I'm making is I gave up a lot of money, fame, notoriety. By the way, Whoop There It Is was outsold Janet Jackson that year.
We still listen to it.
But they originally recorded on a label with me. I had Total Hype Records. I learned about business early. At your age, I learned what they would teach you in the streets, and I learned what they'll teach you in Harvard, and it's the same thing. You just have different relationships. It's the same thing. You're not going to do anything business-wise except produce a product or a service. Those two things, a product or a service. And I don't care what your product is, or I don't care what your service is. That's all you're going to produce. Now, how are you going to deliver that product and service, and who consumes that product and service, that is attached to marketing. So I gave up the music industry. And by the way, if I would have known what I know now, and I know how young people prefer to be on the stage as opposed to knowing what's happening behind the stage and under the stage and on top of the stage, I'd be a zillionaire. Because I'd have just sold plastic for CD covers and album covers. And I wouldn't care who put their music inside of that plastic. But we want to be stars. We want to be on the stage. It's kind of a youthful way to manipulate people's youth. I gave all that up because of the deaths that were happening in our community, and I created what was called Brother Jeff's Cultural Center. It's in line with the missions that you had. It was just a safe place where people could come and experience a place that didn't have anything to do with death, dying, and destruction. The only rules of the Brother Jeff's Cultural Center is you've got to be positive, you can't bring any alcohol, liquor, or mind-altering substances in that facility. We've never had alcohol in there. And it's legal. Marijuana's legal. We won't have it in there. We're anti-drug because I believe drugs have an impact on young minds. I believe media has an impact on young minds. I believe news has an impact on young minds. And so now I'm going to get to the point about news. I've published lots of news content. When you leave, I'm going to give you a copy of 5 Points News, or there's some more over there as well, Denzel. It's 5 Points News. There are two things that you can do in business and you can give to consumers. What are they?
Product, service.
What is this?
Product.
It's just a product. So when you think about the power of media, I learned about, this is print media, by the way. We talked a little bit about social media in the presentation prior to my presentation. And then I'm going to say a few more words and I'm just going to open it up for questions, because I'm really more interested in the questions you have and then we can just have a conversation, and I have an exercise that I want to close with. Five Points News is published, the editor, we deliver the content in hard copy. You can also get it digitally at brotherjeff.com. That's just another form of delivering the content. How do newspapers make money? So in other words, you got to sell advertising to deliver your product or to make it viable in many regards. I was in college once, and I went to college once because, not necessarily because I wanted to get a degree, which is a good thing. I needed to figure out my accounting. So I learned anything that you want to know, you can learn in a book. And today, there's no reason for individuals to be misinformed about anything. Anything. You can go online right now and take classes at Harvard, MIT, Stanford, Metro. Online, right now. A lot of those institutions even deliver some of their content free because they've got to keep up with the market. I took business at Metro State, but now it's Metro University. And there was someone who came to one of our business classes, and they were from either the Rocky Mountain News or the Denver Post. I don't remember which one. But this used to be a 2-newspaper town. And back then, she said that that was highly unusual for a major city to have 2 dailies. You do notice we only have 1 daily now, right? And it's for sale. They're looking for a buyer. Have you picked it up lately? Have you seen how thin it is? That's kind of telling you the way print media is struggling today. She asked us as students a great question I'll never forget. She said, what is the purpose of the Denver Post? What's the purpose of news? So I'm going to ask you all that question. What do you think the purpose of news is? Yes, sir.
To inform people about the positive and sometimes negative things that are happening in communities.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Sweets or whatever.
Who else? What's the purpose of news? Papers.
It can be for educating yourself too, just reading. It can be for entertainment issues, what's going on in the community.
Anybody else? What's the purpose?
Promoting commerce through advertisement.
Great. Anybody else?
To give a perspective, like to tell you, like, I want you to look at this issue like this.
Exactly. Do you know what her answer was? She said, oh, that's good. She said, the purpose of our paper is to deliver a profit to our stockholders.
That's why it's doing what it's doing.
Isn't that mind-blowing? The purpose of this paper is to deliver a profit to our stockholders. If our stockholders do not receive a profit, they will take their dollars and they will invest them somewhere else. And by the way, we have the best writers, the best cartoonists, the best national news, the best sports writers, the best whatever, so that we can drive consumers to that product. It's only a product or a service. Make sense? She said when it was a 2-newspaper town, if you study the history, they had wars with one another and people lost their lives. It was so intense. She said that the advertisers looked so much at circulation that if you slipped a little, you would lose your market share and they would go to the next paper. And so when the Denver Post went to that new folded format, it used to be tabloid, and they had this weird fold and all that, the next day it didn't work, and the other paper jumped on top of them and stole some of their market share. It's business. Now, how do you engage in that business to help your mission, your stated missions? How do you engage someone like me? How do you do it? I'd like to give you maybe a couple of examples
Do you want the slide?
that I hope that you would consider.
Do you want the slide?
Not yet. And I'm going to tell you what I see. I wrote a book. It's called Message to Young Activists. And everything in here I try to keep under 140 characters.
So you can be tweeted.
And it says complete with hashtags. The hashtags was a jest because it's a different world today. I'll talk about that in a second. But this is a form of communication. I could listen to the way you presented your project and yourself, and I could see how you communicate. I could see if you have some strengths, some weaknesses, and we all have strengths and weaknesses. We're here to sharpen our weaknesses and build on our strengths. I love people who fall down and make mistakes. I love people who constantly try. If you get knocked down 1,000 times and get up 1,001, you're successful. This is a form of communication. Today, people write in hashtags. They write in TTL, talk to, TTYL, LOL, SMDH. In other words, all that's fine to move quickly, but people don't know how to write well anymore. I know people who have PhDs who have sent me press releases with tons of grammatical errors. Not even formulated, decent grammar. This is a form of communication. If you want to communicate, if you were able to write a decent, coherent story or deliver a decent written press release, you're more likely to get in this paper as someone who sends me something I have to spend a ton of time trying to figure out what it says or edit it for you. A newspaper is probably going to edit an entire paper. If I have to edit your work that you sent to me, guess what I do with it? I throw it right in the trash. Unless it's so very compelling that I want to rewrite it for you. If you look at the Denver Post, and on some places, this is a community paper. This is just as big as the Denver Post on some days. What is that telling me? It's telling me that you download staff, writers, you're in a lean mode. And so the more you can do as a community leader to help me put content in my paper, then you're more likely to have your message sent. Does that make sense? So, I want to start by saying you should know how to write a press release. I'm not going to tell you how to write a press release today because you can go on YouTube right now and learn how to write a press release from Harvard or MIT. Just Google how to write a press release. Now, if you were to do that, I would encourage you to just use the interrogatives. All I want to know in news is who, what, where, when, and how, or why. That's all I want to know. Who are you? What are you doing? Where is it at? My name is Brother Jeff. I founded Brother Jeff's Cultural Center. We're having a rally Friday at 2 o'clock. We're going to be with, working with seniors to help them access computers in their community. That's all I really need to know. If it's compelling, I want to know more. But just imagine if I didn't want to know more, and I didn't want to write the story. Who could write the story? You could write the story. If you write the story and give it to me, your story is going to be more likely told in a way that you want it to be told as for me interpreting your story and writing it for you. Does that make sense?
Total.
So, every newspaper inside the paper will show you who the editor is, and it will have contact information. I don't care if you're reading Sports Illustrated, New York Times, if you're reading whatever it is, a blog, a tweet, it will have who wrote that. And many of them will say, here's my contact information. Contact them. Get to know who it is that works at these papers or who works at these news stations. Get to know them. For example, if you're watching 9 News, know who those broadcasters are, those, know who they are. They'll probably go to some of the restaurants you go to. They probably have children too that are in your school. They probably do just like all of us in here. And as leaders, I think you have to be able to access those you think who are in power. Efley, you notice how I said think? Yeah. Because you're in power too. Hi, my name is such and such. I'm the executive director of such and such. And guess what? We would like for you to come and visit our facility. I would like for you to come and take a look at my program. I would like to send someone over to talk to you, to share with you a little bit about our successes. Oh, by the way, I was at a meeting yesterday with Brother Jeff. He said there were 50 gunshots in the community. I got 50 kids that don't shoot at all. You want to know why? Why? Well, invite us over, we'll tell you.
Wow.
You have power. A press release. I guarantee you that most of the stuff you read in the papers now, if it doesn't say staff writer, if it says something like Associated Press or it has correspondent or something, they're pulling it offline.
Wow.
I come out once a month. Denver Weekly News comes out once a week. Urban Spectrum comes out once a month. Body of Christ comes out once a month. African American Voice comes out once a month. I can look at everybody's content and see how they pull from or how their paper is structured, how they are communicating. If you have something and it's a story and I can go online and I can pull it, I might just pull it and say, if it's open, I'll pull it and you'll see your stuff printed somewhere. Make your news available. If you have a website, this is the social media part. I can't tell you how many websites have outdated, irrelevant information on it. You cannot even find a contact person. They got so much fluff, pictures, bells, just so much stuff. And all a website is most of the time is a glorified business card. Unless you're doing e-commerce or something. I want to go to your site and I want to spend about 30 seconds on it, 120 characters. I want to see who's here, what's their contact number, what's their email address, and can I send them a question? But guess what was more powerful? What if your website had a press link? And on that press link, you had your own press releases. Even more so, what if you had your own pictures? Photo gallery. And a person could download them in high resolution. 300 dots per image, per inch. High resolution images on your website. See, some people will send me pictures of their event and it'll be from their phone, iPhone. That doesn't work for print. It works for social media. You need 300 dots per inch to get a quality picture. If not, when I blow it up, you're just going to have bubbles. So if you sent me a press release and it had 300 dot per inch images and a press release, you can look at my stories, they're usually around 300 to 500 words. So you don't need to send me an essay, because you know I'm either going to chop it up or it's not going to get printed. You can look at the Westword and you can see that they'll run a story. It might be one story, but it'll be long. Really. It's not good or bad. Everybody knows their market. Their market reads those lengthy articles. If you look at the New York Times, they don't have a lot of pictures. They have a lot of copy. If you look at the 5 Points News, we have a lot of pictures. Because people tend to just tell me what this is about. If it's above the fold in a paper, it's important. If it's below the fold and it starts getting pushed more to the back, it's less important. So I'm going to encourage you all to look at newspapers, look at your media content or what you're delivering, and see if they're talking to you. Maybe they are, or maybe they're not. And then look at what you look at and see why you look at it. So finally, I want to show you all something. I want to do an exercise. Can we look at that image? And I'm going to ask everybody if you could just take one of these cards and just maybe pass it. And then I'm going to leave the majority, the rest of the time for just questions.
Yeah.
Then we'll close, I'll tell you about a press conference. Okay, without blurting anything out, I would like for you to look at this image, and I want you to name it. Give it a caption. For example, the caption for this image is, "Iconic 5 Points property in dispute." That should encourage you to want to know a little bit more about it. So just take a look at that picture. Then I want you to just give it a caption. And in line with that wonderful presentation we had before, you got 29 more seconds.
Stop.
All right. Now, what I would like for you to do is pass those cards back up to me.
If you have them, pass them. If not, think about it.
And I'm going to leave the majority of the time for you to just ask questions about anything you might be interested in around perhaps media or my experience with it. Now, I would like for you to